Super Mario Odyssey. So this is going to be kind of different than what I normally do. When I make videos, normally I do either a playthrough, which is where I record my voice and the game at the same time, or I do a walkthrough where I record the game and then edit stuff out and then voice over it later. But this time I'm doing a mix of both, so I'm recording it and then I'm going to keep most of my failures in, but if anything's going to take me like a way too long time, I'm going to try to cut out a lot of my massive failures so I don't waste too much time, but I'm going to be narrating after the fact, and this is just mostly going to be sort of ease of time, I guess, or a little bit more convenient for me, just because when you're trying to do videos, when you're recording your voice the same time you're playing, you have to make sure that, you know, everything's quiet around you. You have to sit down and do it for a couple hours. I have to get all my microphone stuff set up, and it's kind of annoying. It kind of takes some of the fun out of the game knowing that I have to do that every time I want to play it. So I didn't want to do that with this game. So the only thing that this means is that I'm not actually going to be able to play this game on the Switch itself. I'm going to have to play it on the TV for a while until I get to the point that I no longer want to record or whatever, but that'll probably be near the end of the game, but that's okay. I don't mind playing this on the big TV, but it is really cool being able to have like a full-blown Mario game, totally mobile now, like completely 100% mobile, full-blown Mario game. How can you beat that? You can't beat that. So the game starts off with Mario getting tossed off of that airship. As we saw, his hat gets shredded, which was actually one of the more... that was way more depressing than I thought it would be. And then we talk to this other hat. If you've seen trailers, if you've seen Nintendo Directs on Mario Odyssey, whatever else, you know what's going on. This hat can control things. We're going to be able to take over some creatures later on, be able to become the creature for a little bit, and of course we have to go save our Princess Peach and this hat guy's sister. So there's going to be mostly text chat in this game, which I am pretty happy with. If we notice with the other cutscene, Bowser says names like he said Peach and Mario, but the rest of the stuff's kind of Bowser mumbling, which is awesome. The last Mario game that had voice acting was, I think, Super Mario Sunshine, and I love Sunshine, but the voice acting was definitely one of the worst parts about that game. So this game does a pretty good mix. I was a little bit worried with Breath of the Wild that they might decide to go for voice acting in this game, and Breath of the Wild didn't have that much voice acting, but it did have enough that it just kind of surprised me. I mean, Nintendo really hasn't done voice acting since, like, Metroid Prime 3. Anyway, so we get our hat here. I guess we're unhappy with the jazz hat, and we gotta go with the regular Mario hat with two massive eyeballs. And as you can see, you can throw it right off your head. Again, if you've seen any of this game, you already know you can do this, but it's good to show it off anyway. So there's a few ways with the Switch. You can move the Switch controller, as it's showing down there, or you can push Y, and you can actually push X. So that screen's gonna stay there for a little while because I was pushing X the whole time because I get confused. I've spent the last couple of months playing games on my Xbox controller, and the Y button is on top of the A button, but on the Nintendo controllers, the A and B and the X and Y buttons are flip-flopped, so X is actually down to the left side, or sorry, Y is down to the left side, but anyway, I pushed it eventually, and that screen went away, so that was kind of cool. The hat is going to be our destructive weapon inside of this game, and I'm trying to figure out how to ground pound there, and it's just jump and then ZR, I think. One of the R buttons lets you jump there. And of course there's a few ways you can actually play this game, as it's showing this game really wants you to play the game with your controllers separated to show off the motion controls, I guess, and I may try that later, but for now I'm going to be sticking to just the regular controller where the two Joy-Cons are stuck on that controller that came with the Switch. Now I don't know how much harder Switches are to get now than they were a few months ago. I think they're still pretty widely sold out in a lot of places. I know my GameStop had a few, then I came back the next day and they were all gone, so I guess they're still selling out pretty well. So this game may not be the easiest thing in the world to get a hold of, but either way, I'm going to have a link in the description where you can buy it on Amazon if you want to. It's not an Amazon affiliate link or anything like that. I don't do that. But anyway, I just link where you can buy the games in my videos in case you're interested. Of course, if you have a Switch, you can download it off the Switch's store to the eShop. So we are kind of in this strange Halloween-y world. You know, all this mist, all this ghost, all this dark ground, and we can see some pretty darn cool backgrounds and a giant moon that we'll actually soon be heading toward. And we need to go up onto this tower over here, and we need to take out some of the baddies that are working their way toward us. Now, I am the type of person who doesn't like to get hyped for games if I can avoid it, so I tried to know as little about this game as possible when it came out. I watched the trailers for new games, but I tried to avoid all of the like gameplay videos and the graphics videos and the upcoming like here's what you can do videos and some of the boss videos, because then you've seen half the game by the time it comes out. And it's like those people that see movies, like Marvel movies, but they read the comics and they piece together all the leaked footage and the leaked scripts and everything, and they've basically seen the movie before they go to the theater, and it's just like, come on, that kind of ruins the fun for me. So I don't know where I was going with this, but anyway, some stuff I say, especially at the beginning, might not be completely accurate, which is why I'm kind of considering this an in-between type of playthrough style than what I normally do. But anyway, we also get 3 hearts, so that's been pretty usual for Mario games. The last one, I think, Super Mario Galaxy had 3 health, and I know the original Galaxy had like 8 health or like 6 health. I think it had 8 because that was more in line with Super Mario 64, but and Sunshine, but I think they decided that was too much for what you could do in Galaxy, and it seems like it's pretty much that way in this game too. So of course we get the really cool shiny wet graphics that they've had back in the other Mario game, 3D World, I think? Yeah, 3D World on the Wii U. But anyway, I have yet to actually take damage in this game. No, that's not true. I do take damage. Never mind. I take damage during the boss in this area. Okay, whatever. So moving on, we throw our hat onto one of the frogs here, and we see the first time that we actually get to take over the frog. Now this kind of surprised me because, like I said, I tried to hype myself up as little as possible for this game. So I knew you could take things over in this game, but I didn't expect it to happen like that. So that was hilarious to me. I was laughing so hard during this whole scene. And with this frog, it's kind of like, it really reminds me of the power-ups that you can get in Super Mario Galaxy, the different mushrooms. Like in Galaxy you get the spring mushroom, which lets you spring up really high, and that's pretty much exactly what this frog does. So you can push Y to dash and push B to jump really high. Like, it is kind of amazing how high this frog can jump. This whole thing was just making me laugh so hard. Here I am as Mario as a frog, and there's a bunch of Goombas there that I thought were actually frogs because they're so tiny. I had no idea those were Goombas, but apparently if you lead them into the water they die, so that's one way to take care of them, I guess. Then there's a bunch of rings that if you go through them you get some coins. Not too sure what coins are used for yet. I'm sure we will find that out soon enough though. And then of course hit the boxes whenever you can, because you never know what's inside of them. Although I have yet to actually get a mushroom in this game. Like I said, it's kind of going to be an in-between after recording playthrough, so I'm not very far in this game yet, but I did want to get a video out soon-ish, I guess. Anyway, when we come up here, we'll learn that we can tap the ZR or ZL button. ZL button to return to normal, and strangely, I had to push it a couple of times, because here I am pushing it, and finally I release the frog, who then disappears. Then we get yet another thing that's kind of reminiscent of Super Mario Galaxy. It's like that health mushroom in Galaxy that gives you 3 extra health, and that's kind of what that did. It was a big heart that gives you 3 extra health. Then when we're on the outside here, we're on another top hat, and I don't know why, like this whole game has a jazzy sort of feeling, and the last couple of Mario games for some reason just have been really jazzy. I know there was that whole jazz music that they had in 3D World, so I was kind of hoping they'd move on past the jazz, but it seems like they're still hanging on to it for a little while longer. But luckily the music doesn't seem to be quite as jazzy as it was. Anyway, you can go around this hat if you want to. There's not really a whole lot to do here. There's a doorway behind this, and I don't know if we'll be able to break that open later, or if that's just like the button on the hat or whatever, the belt buckle hat. See, I know nothing about top hats, but it's like the pilgrim thing on the front of their hat that's a square metal whatever it is. Maybe that's what that is. I have no idea. But anyway, come on up here, follow these coins, and then of course you get the applause when you collect all of them. And now we get our first ever boss, who is this guy that had a name that I'm not really too sure what it was, but anyway, this is an extremely easy boss. In fact, I was kind of annoyed at how easy it was, because I died my first time in Breath of the Wild to the first boss that we had to fight there, but anyway, you just have to jump on his head twice, and when you jump on his head once, he's gonna run around in these top hats, so just hit the top hat that he's in, eventually he'll come out of it, hit them all off, and hit him again, and that's it. He's gone. Twice. Not even 3 times. You only had to do that twice. It's breaking the rules. Anyway, so that's going to be pretty much it for this video. The rest of it's going to be a whole lot of cutscene. We're going to turn into an electrical wire here, and then we get what's basically the next level or the next world. Not too sure yet, but we get into the next area. That's going to be it for me in this video. Like I said, there's going to be more Odyssey videos coming. I love this game so much from what I've played, and it's really, I'm just stunned Nintendo is able to consistently blow my mind with new games that they release. I never thought they would outdo Twilight Princess, but they did with Breath of the Wild, and really, I didn't think they could outdo Super Mario Galaxy, and it seems like they are doing that and way more with Odyssey. So if you have a Switch, get this game. If you don't have a Switch, well, get a Switch and then play Breath of the Wild and Odyssey, because you are missing out on a lot of fun. That'll be it for this video. I will see you in part 2 of Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, be amazing. Well, be fine, huh?